So, Andrew Page, tell me about the first day you met a guy named Kimveer.
Well, we met in high school, and I had a group of friends that were considered, the cool group, and he wanted to be part of that group, and so I met him, and he started hanging out with me and my group.
What was he like?
Pretty shy, but a nice guy, and in high school when we started, we would do some a bit of vandalism sometimes in the school, and he took part in that. Well, he would exaggerate it. I mean, if let's say I broke a neon light, and he would break too. So he would copy whatever I did and exaggerate.
He was hanging out with the cool kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he's generous. He would invite me in his house. He would give me food, give me beer.
You're just like, he's my buddy, just like all my other buddies.
Yeah.
Nothing stuck out for you.
Yeah, he's my buddy.
So how long were you guys friends for?
We're friends till from 98 to 2006.
There's been a shooting at a junior college in downtown Montreal.
A 25-year-old gunman wearing a long black coat fired randomly at students at Montreal's Dawson College just after the lunch hour.
We all crowded around the window and we were freaking out, and then the next thing you know, there's people passing by the door of the classroom, and this girl opens the door and says, "Guys, there's no alarm, but you have to leave the building. Everyone's evacuating."
I saw a bunch of people on the ground. I saw blood everywhere.
We ran.
Back in 2006, Andrew's good friend, Kimveer Gill, shows up at Dawson College in downtown Montreal and goes on a shooting rampage. He killed one person, 18-year-old Anastasia D'Souza, and wounded 16 others. He also killed himself.
Oh, what happened on the day it happened, I was working in a subway in Bay d'Urfé, and then I heard on the news, there was a shooting at Dawson College, and then this tall guy with black hair and a mohawk is the shooter. So I said, "Oh, who's that?" I don't know him. I don't know anybody like that. And then the next day, I looked at the newspaper, and then I saw his picture in the newspaper, and that's when I found out.
What is that moment like when you look at the newspaper and you see someone you know well having killed? Gone on a shooting rampage at Dawson College. Tell me about that moment.
Well, that was very awful. That was pretty terrible. And someone someone you were close with, he appears in a newspaper like that, and it's terrible. I mean, I couldn't function properly. I was at work. I was supposed to do my shift, making sandwiches, and I couldn't make sandwiches properly. So I didn't think he was capable of that. He was able to break beer bottles in the street, but to walk in a college and to shoot people, I never thought he would be able to do that.
Yeah. That must be hard, because it must be like, did I really know this guy, and how did I?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Did I really know this guy? I mean, I had a relation for years. We were friends, and he was normal. We would hang out and talk. He would talk to me normal, have a pizza, have a beer, watch a movie, and we would do that for 8 years. And all of a sudden, he decides to shoot people in a college. That doesn't make sense.
Were you mad at him?
Yeah, I was mad at him. I was, because he hurt a lot of people, and he was a completely different person that day than what I knew him from before.
How'd you make sense of that image of Kimveer, your friend, with the image of Kimveer, the mass shooter?
Well, it's two different people. I mean, he was the quietest guy in school, and all of a sudden he's a murderer. I mean, to me, it didn't make sense. Two completely different people.
Obviously for Anastasia D'Souza's family and friends and the other numbers of people who were injured and the people that were at Dawson College that day, this is, a tragedy, and continues, I'm sure, to have an impact on their lives, probably a lot of them daily. What's been the hardest thing for you out of all of this?
Well, I feel terrible about everybody that was hurt on that day. All the people that got shot and all their families. I had to talk to people about this and try to get through this. And
I'm curious how often you think about this.
well, the thought of him comes up every few days. The thought of him comes up, and
Really? Every few days, yeah?
yeah, every few days. It's something I have to live with, and
What do you mean by that? What do you have to live with?
no, I live with because I knew him, and who God knows where he is right now. It's
You said it made you question who you are.
yeah. Well, after something like that happens, you ask yourself a lot of questions. I used to hang out with him, and then he becomes a criminal. Am I normal? Am I an asshole? And then I had to tell myself that I'm not like him, and I'm not an asshole.
I would probably question my trust in other people. Just not because I wasn't good at it. It's just because, well, wait a minute, I knew that guy, and I thought he was quote unquote normal. It's like, how does that sort of resonate for you?
I thought he was normal, and I think everybody in the school would say that he was pretty normal. And then I got all these people, my family and friends, and even strangers. They're like, "How come you used to hang out with Kimveer Gill? And why did you hang out with him?" And so people have a different perspective. If you think, "Oh, maybe I'm a criminal, or maybe I'm an asshole too, just like he was," but I'm not. So it's not easy to know that the public has this perspective of you. Oh, you're Kimveer Gill's friend. Oh, yeah. So it's not easy to live with.